Enters day 6. Israeli Air Force continues to pound Hamas terror posts. As per international news agencies, the Israeli military says that it is preparing for a ground operation in Gaza, but the political leadership has not decided on what to do next. Well, reports of the Israeli military planning to go into Gaza have been coming in as thousands of Israeli troops are now stationed on the border between Gaza and Israel, and we have been getting reports of how Israel is continuing to pound several targets within the Gaza Strip. Now, the Israeli IDF has also confirmed that they have amassed a huge number of troops right on the Gaza Strip, and they are just waiting for orders to come in on what they need to do next. Now, this even as essential supplies of food, fuel and water are running out in the Gaza Strip as Israel has put in place a complete blockade. And there are now calls being made by international agencies as well as the United States and other powers in the Middle East for a humanitarian corridor to be established before the military of Israel decides to enter the Gaza Strip. Let's go across to Gursimran to get a ground situation update. Gursimran, good morning. Gursimran, we do know that the IDF has now confirmed that it has amassed thousands of troops on the border between Gaza and Israel after having essentially retaken all the villages that had been that had Hamas operatives inside. What are you hearing in terms of a time frame for them now to enter the Gaza Strip, or is a political go-ahead the only thing that remains?
See, it is the political go-ahead that is waited, and we expect that today, with the formation of the unity government that is coming from the Benjamin Netanyahu and the former defense minister, it will be a matter of time that the decision be taken, because not only the unity government is being formed, but also the suspension of the legislatures other than the legislations other than related to the war, and also the formation of the war cabinet that will include the defense minister of the sitting defense minister of Israel, the prime minister along with the two advisors, that will putting the entire focus on the decisions that are needed to be taken by the cabinet of the country regarding to the war that has broken out on the borders of Gaza and Israel. Important to mention that there have been several supports, be it the United States that has openly come in support of the Israel, and even two of the aircraft carriers have already entered the waters of the Mediterranean Sea, Eastern Mediterranean Sea, that is the Israel waters. They have already entered, and as we speak, loud bangs can be heard in the background. These are the precision strikes that are taking place in the Gaza Strip. We are around 700 to 800 meter aerial distance from the border of Gaza and Israel, and important to mention that the Secretary Blinken, the Secretary Anthony Blinken from the United States is also expected to be in Israel today. So this shows that how the things are actually on ground, because the United States too has some of the hostages with the Hamas terrorists, and they want to ensure that the terrorists, the perpetrators, are killed at an earliest and the hostages are secured in a manner that they don't get hurt. But now comes the main important point, that if the United States steps in with its army on the borders of Gaza, will there be intervention of the friends of Hamas, be it the Qatar, Iran, the Egypt, Jordan, and also the Lebanon side where the Hezbollah has become pretty active? And if Hezbollah opens its front, then it is going to be seen, because the Hezbollah is a real threat to Israel. That is what has been accepted by the top leaders of the IDF that we spoke to, and they said that they are trying to minimize the scale with which Hezbollah is trying to mount the pressure on Israel, because two-front war is going to be really very challenging, despite the fact that the US is on the side of Israel. Because if you see the geography of the area, then if the Jerusalem side also open, then it will be a three-front war. That what it seems for now is Israel doesn't seems to be in a position that it can open all the fronts at once. See, there is a high possibility that they can get the one side clear and then move to the other side. But all the fronts, if opened at once, then it is going to be a really challenging situation for the Israel side.